Smith, what direction would you like to see the eye care profession head based on your knowledge of the latest research and trends in myopia?
Well, there's a couple things I'd like to mention. I mean, first and foremost, and I think this will be like a broken record before the session's over, it is absolutely critical to promote the incorporation of current strategies to slow the progression of myopia into practice. A large body of research has demonstrated conclusively that a number of different strategies are successful in slowing the progression of myopia in children. And that's really, really important because by slowing the progression of myopia, it is very likely that we can reduce the potential for blinding conditions that are normally associated with myopia, particularly myopia progression. I think in this respect, it's really significant that we have a company like Essilor that's taking the lead to advocate and promote these kinds of concepts. And I'm a simple academic, and I've been yelling this stuff for years, and it's just hard to get the word out. And I was simply amazed to see how many people are here in this room. This requires a paradigm shift in the practicing doc's office, and it's absolutely important that it is a broad-scale effort. And so serving as a way of promoting and advocating is absolutely critical because it will have long-term health impacts, positive long-term health impacts. The second thing that I think is important for the industry, and in this respect, the industry is research and teaching and all the components, the practicing docs, as well as our industry partners. We have to do more to understand the patient variables and the treatment strategy variables that affect the efficacy of these anti-myopia treatment strategies. We're doing a good job now, but I'm convinced we can do a better job by individualizing our treatment strategies, by optimizing our treatment strategies, and that's going to take an effort by a lot of people to understand all the things that can impact the potential course of myopia in children. And so this is something that again, requires a lot of people to be involved in. And so I'm very happy, and that's really why I'm here. I'm very happy that a company like Essilor is taking the lead on some of this stuff. We have to bring new product to the market.
Thank you very much, Dr. Smith. Dr. Pang, I know you've done extensive research, and I would like to get your thoughts on where some of the research is pushing our industry and some of the key takeaways from your research as well.
Sure, Ryan. Again, myopia topic is dear to my heart, and personally, I have myopia for a long time. I was diagnosed with myopia when I was 7 years old. So I have done a lot of clinical trials and research on myopia. So I have two comments to make. First, we have a lot of strong evidence to show myopia can be managed and slowed down in children. Now what we need is more and more eye care practitioners actively manage myopia. Second, so far the most effective and practical ways or methods to slow down and manage myopia in children is about 50%. And I hope as a researcher, researchers can find an innovation way to slow down myopia more and further, more than 50%, if not 100%.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Dr. Bolton, I know you've done quite a bit of research as well, so I would like to get your thoughts on that, and specifically what the optometrist that's out there practicing right now, how they can stay up with some of the latest trends and research that can affect their practice.
Well, as a career academic, I still think of myself as an optometrist and a healthcare practitioner. I still harbor this notion of the small-town family doctor who doesn't deal with drive-by care, but takes care of his patients and their families for a lifetime. And that's where myopia, in my mind, fits in. we shouldn't be just correcting the prescription today. That's an important thing. But we should be thinking about the long-term visual welfare of that particular child or any of our patients. And we're getting more into preventative care, and myopia control, myopia management is one small but very, very important aspect of that. As an academic, I wrote 15 years ago that we couldn't do anything to slow it. We couldn't do anything to slow down or control myopia. There's been a paradigm shift because of Earl's excellent animal work, Tom's sort of cheerleading and trailblazing in our clinical treatments, and now we have potentially atropine, spectacle lenses, multifocal soft lenses, overnight orthokeratology. Sorry, I put the wrong teeth in this morning. Rhapsody reference. We have options, which again, as practitioners, it's our role to tailor those to the individual kid and match it to their lifestyle. And to me, again, that's the exciting thing about being a doctor. And it's exciting to have Essilor lending their voice to what really is a really important aspect. The other thing, again, I'm an academic, I'm a researcher, but I'm still a closet clinician. It's important with any of these therapies to not only get them into the marketplace, but also give the doctors at the point of sale, the value proposition. How do you pitch it to the patient? Why should they, the parent, care? Well, myopic parents have myopic kids, okay? I've been pushing for years that Match.com and eHarmony should have it on their profiles. And take a retinoscope on the first date, okay? Know who you're getting into a relationship with. I won't do that, but maybe in private. But so people say, why should I care about myopia management? The three things I say, and again, these have to do with lifetime visual benefit. If you're a lower myope, you're less disabled when you don't have your glasses, okay? I can go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, something I'm having to do more often, because I'm a -2. That would be more challenging as a -3, -4. Secondly, the myopic kid of today in contact lenses or spectacles will likely be the refractive surgery patient of tomorrow. The shorter path is easier to sync, the visual outcomes will be better with less myopia, and you're going to be a candidate for a less invasive procedure rather than if you're a high myope, you've got to have something intraocular. That's important. And thirdly, I don't like to talk about blindness, but the risk of macular disease is substantially reduced with less myopia. If we can prevent one diopter myopia, we can lower the risk of myopic maculopathy by 40%. One diopter, 40%. 40% from a public health perspective is huge. Okay, look at what we need to do in glaucoma to prevent a glaucoma case. How many patients we need to treat. Okay, look at the amount of nutraceuticals we need to treat to lower the risk by 10 or 20% for some things. 40% is huge, a lifetime benefit, and that's what I'm excited about being involved. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bullmore. I'd like to switch over a little bit and talk to some of the clinicians that are in practice. Dr. Aller, I would like to get your opinion on how the rise in myopia has impacted patients that you see on a day-in and day-out basis.
Well, of course, I've been effectively controlling myopia and researching it for over 25 years. Mostly a clinician, but I pretend to be a scientist, so the reverse from Mark here.
Yeah.
Mirror images, exactly. And so the commitment I have with my own patients is that I will do everything that I can to not let the rise in myopia actually impact them. And we have all sorts of effective tools currently, none of which have FDA approvals, but doctors can do whatever they need to do to benefit their patients based on the available research. So, but over those years, patients have changed a little bit. They're getting more and more concerned. Many of my patients come from far distances. They already know what they want. They're motivated. They're concerned because of the research that I've done. And they come in already knowing what they want. A lot of times they know more than many of my colleagues. They've read the literature. I mean, I'm in the Bay Area. They're they're all scientists and doctors, and they're creating little scientists and doctors. I mean, you can't believe some of these kids, but they're more concerned, and I think it's both an opportunity for the profession and an obligation to do whatever we can to help protect their future sight.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Dr. Tran, I know you and I were talking last night. You've got some great insight with not only your patients, but the family of your patients as well. So could you share some of that?
Yeah, well, as a parent of two young myopic boys myself, I'm acutely aware of the frustrations that parents have when you inform them that their child's prescription has changed. Along the lines of what Dr. Miller just mentioned, there's usually a feeling of helplessness. What can I do is usually the question. And so I think, as eye care practitioners, along with the industry, I think it's important that we provide them with education and proactive treatment options to help try to improve the quality of life of these young patients.
Wonderful. Dr. Chen, what do you think are many of our colleagues out there, their viewpoint on myopia as a medical condition versus refractive condition?
I think, in speaking just from my opinion alone, I think that the general sentiment about myopia from my colleagues is just that it's a reactive type of treatment. Patients come in, their prescriptions change, I'll update the glasses, and the mindset's not there where we should be tackling it proactively. What can we do to try to shunt the growth or shunt the increase in myopia, or what other options or education we can provide our patients to help reduce the change as opposed to just correcting the change.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Dr. Lowe and Dr. Mendelson, you've been sitting there so patiently and so quiet. It's your turn now. I would like for you to kind of tell us, in your opinion, what the eye care industry could most benefit from as it relates to patient care when it comes to myopia. Dr. Lowe, let's start with you.
Sure. Well, I think the challenge for any industry is to find its why. And when it does find its why, how do you successfully articulate that? And we know from everything we've heard this morning that myopia is a condition that affects, I dare say, every family, right? Whether it's personally someone that comes in as a patient that has it, or someone has someone in their family that has myopia. But sadly, when you poll patients across America, they don't know when to seek care, right? I like to say myopia is going to be the fluoride to the dental industry. Our dental partners did a great job years ago of telling patients when they need to seek care, right? If you poll someone and you ask them on the street, how often should you have your teeth checked, they know how often, right? If you ask them how often you should have your eyes examined, you get an array of answers. Mostly when I have a problem, right? We don't want to wait for a patient to have a problem. We know when an informed patient seeks care and they're in my chair, whether they're myopic or not, I can educate them on what the 200 plus conditions that they may be at risk for, and that's very impactful. It empowers me as a practitioner to use the technologies in my office, be it by technologies that I can diagnose with, or wonderful products that I can use in contact lenses and spectacles to enhance vision. And so that just raises the bar for all our industry partners. We're giving the patient that tailored care they need, and industry benefits from that, but mainly our patients benefit from that.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe. Dr. Mendelson, what are your thoughts on the eye care industry and how it can benefit from the awareness of myopia?
Sure. So we know several things about myopia. We know it's progressive. We know there are consequences, similar to what Dr. Knight mentioned earlier today, such as detached retinas. And we know that if we can reduce the rate of progression of myopia by about 35%, we'll have 70% less miles minus 5 and above, where most pathology takes place, such as detached retina, etc. It will be wonderful and very empowering me as a practitioner to be able to control the trajectory of a young boy, young girl on my chair when they are at -1. And if I know that I can keep them below the -5 threshold, I'm going to make a very significant impact in their lives. I'll minimize their potential to get detached retinas, etc. And it's a wonderful tool in our toolbox that will help us impact the public health issue that we are about to